I'm going to walk through building a presentation using the AI tools I have with CueCam, and I've only got an idea, brain idea about vaguely what I think I'd like to talk about. So I'm starting by going into CueCam and creating a new document. And the title, I think, it's just a working title of the marriage of intelligence with ingenuity. That's a pretty big, high level topic. What I need to do is engage some of the AI tools I have at my disposal. And one of them is using NotebookLM from Google. And I just searched the web for new sources right there, in which I was looking at the future of media, AI, and the creator economy. So this movement from broadcast into hyper narrow content development and delivery. It found 50 different sources about the AV industry and where it's going. And we see it, it used to be for trade shows and big corporate productions and broadcast style podcasts. Now we can look at doing something like I'm doing right now. I'm going to go into Google Gemini. I'm bringing in that notebook into my Gemini search. So whatever I'm getting answers to in Gemini, it's going to be looking inside that source. So now I'm just going to state my problem. I want to deliver a presentation at a trade show in which I'm positing the idea that intelligence needs ingenuity to balance and ground and generate productivity. I want to be able to speak to artificial intelligence tools that can be brought into a visualist presentation where my image and the information brought in by AI are balanced so they get a trusted source along with exhaustive research. So I've got myself a in-depth query. Give me a detailed outline of a 20-minute presentation. So here we go. So Gemini takes its time. It's got a lot of information to search through, and it starts refining a story based on the inputs that I've given it. It's going to give me an exhaustive presentation far beyond what I need, because I'm going to bring this as a prompt into CueCam to generate the slides for me. And so here we are with a fairly complex presentation for 20 minutes. And I can now copy that whole thing and go into CueCam. And here I bring in generate script. Trade show attendees who have an interest in the migration of AV and online meetings. And in the brief, I'm just going to copy this in. And the goal is to position CueCam as a tool that brings together the visualization along with the intelligence, ingenuity and intelligence together to make impactful decision-making possible amongst the people who are involved. And I want it to be shorter than a 20-minute piece, let's say 7 cards, and let's generate our script. I'm taking all of that research and I'm going to boil it down into cards that I can use on screen to deliver whatever I need to deliver in a very short amount of time. And now we have ourselves a starting point for honing in the script and the talking points and the overlays in CueCam. Balancing trust and tech. Discover the third space. I want to explore the tension that exists between all these high-tech possibilities we have and human connections. How can we trust AI? And I want to present an answer based on what I'm using now. We live in a world of infinite intelligence, and AI can generate thousands of pages of research in seconds. But human ingenuity is required to ground that information, that intelligence, into the context of your organization. We need to bridge this paradox to achieve productivity. Let's delve into why AI alone falls short without human context. AI gives us an iceberg worth of information, but if I'm not sitting right next to that information in order to give the cues, the look, the intonation, if I'm in a meeting and people don't see me next to that information, I'm not going to get the same response and engagement. We're used to production of TV and broadcast quality where there's a production team behind every presentation. The solution simply, the human doing the presentation is able to shift the view of the audience, and the AI can give the stats, but I show you the product. I show you what might be done with it. This creates a third space where human presence and AI data coexist efficiently. Everything I used in this presentation actually was generated originally through AI. I fine-tuned it, but I'm presenting it right next to it in full confidence of the message that I'm delivering. What we're creating is a third space, a hybrid space, for an authentic moments of mutual recognition between what is presented and what is received. AI is great for exhaustive research, so we can focus on the connection. We need visuals to balance AI-generated research while we remain visible and in control. And this is the year to do it. AI is improving at such a dramatic pace. What we experience must be shared meaningfully without barriers to the equipment we need, the cost, and the training. We're faced with a vacuum that will be filled with information that may not be grounded in the appropriate context. We can fill that vacuum not just with more AI, but with our presence, our curiosity, and our imagination on display to use AI creatively to share what we have in our desk, what we see with our eyes, and what's in our space.